You have seem to have an aptitude sort of thing for this trading stuff.
Well, I have a fantastic teacher.
Sometimes it's nice to meet someone who just gets it right away. You can see what's happening.
I make no claims for myself. All I do is try to follow to the letter what you're saying. You have a plan. We look at all the pairs. We choose the clearest pairs. Why would I want to get into anything else? Because we've already chosen what the clearest possible pairs are to trade. The thing I totally got is that price makes these waves, and the waves are fractal. And when I had this revelation about the different time frames, that completely blew me away. And then together with the Elliott wave and CCI and everything you've told me, just each week as I've been doing it, I've had a series of revelations, if you like. And it's been completely incredible. But getting back to what I was saying, the mental thing is, I think, what it all boils down to. And again, I was thinking about this. It's in every other activity you learn. If you were trying to be a carpenter or play the piano, you tend to have a teacher, and the results you get are you get this affirmation because you can tell that you're learning to play the piano correctly, or your carpentry is improving. And that affirmation, that reassurance that you're doing the right thing, that makes you continue with what you're doing. Whereas with trading, you don't really get that. You're on your own. Some trades go bad, some trades go well. You're not sure is it something you're doing or something you're not doing. And so I think the only thing that gets you through is an inner feeling of faith and some sort of sense of commitment and a determination to do it. And I think it's that quality which drives you on when you're not seeing the results. And I think another thing that's happened is always before the biggest breakthroughs, I get really disheartened and really down. And I know now it's kind of like an inner thing that I've got to push through in order to go on to the next step. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but that's the whole thing. It's not just about the trading. It's almost been for me like an emotional journey about learning about myself. Again, as I said, I make no claims for anything here. All I'm trying to do is follow what you're saying. We end up with a plan, and then we execute the plan. And what could be simpler than that? And the reason we are doing this is because we have a certain view in terms of how the market works. And if you have that view and you believe in that view, then that it just logically follows that the only way to trade would be the way we are trading. And that sunk in pretty quickly. And then what I realized was I just didn't understand it. And I kept coming to the sessions every morning, and gradually through a period of repetition and asking lots of questions, it's essentially dawned on me what we're doing. And now I'd say I'm at the stage where I understand totally what the method is and what we're doing. The thing that is amazing for me is that I do now understand, the method. And I'd say that's the point where I can look at your plans. I see you going through the charts. I can see why we look at correlated pairs, and I can see why we label the charts. I can see what we're waiting for. And I've now, I said, look, if you're looking at the daily chart now, let's say you're at the top, then it's clear that it's going to go down for ages. And so when you're on a chart which is a shorter time frame, the odds are, just statistically, if you enter in the downward direction, that would be the direction you would want to enter in. Now, I'd kind of worked that out, but it hadn't really, I would have never got to this stage.
Well, how's your own results working out now? Or is it still okay?
I would say in the last 4 weeks, I'm still in demo, but in the last 4 weeks, the results have been amazing. I think I mean, the first week, I think I couldn't believe it. I think I made 800 pips. The second week, I made about 800 pips. Third week, around 350. And then I think the fourth week, I made about 400 to 500 pips in demo. And I knew at this point, I started pulling up my account history. And I also looked at the amount of losing trades. And I think it was around 2 or 3 a week. And I thought at this point, something has clicked here. I'm starting to get this, and that's effectively what has happened. And that has been a huge confidence boost. And at that point, I realized, this works. I can make this work.
Well, you were in a lot of the same trades that I was in, and then I noticed that you were in some other trades that were even better that I missed or something like that. So that's the beauty of it, is that it's not about me giving a signal or telling you, to get in a trade. It's about you understanding when you can do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I did not sign up for a signal service. That was not the thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to learn how to trade so that I could understand what was going on. And, that is basically what's happening. And even though I'm in the early stages, I know, just based on the results of this month's period, that I think I've reached a point where I realize it would be impossible for it not to work now.
Yeah.
Because, does that make sense? Statistically, I've just taken too many trades in 4 weeks, and virtually, most of them have worked out. Probably about 80% of them worked out. Statistically, the odds of that being chance are just.
It's kind of an exciting thing when you realize that, though. It's like it's almost impossible for you to get to a point where you're going to start losing or something like this. It's not a winning streak. It's not a beginner's luck thing or anything like that.
One of the key things is patience. Is realizing that. And this is only something you get after you've attended the sessions regularly, but it dawns on you that actually the market is doing this again and again and again, and that is one of the reasons why what we do works, because we just take the same approach again and again and again. And provided you only get into the high probability trades,
I can see, in 6 months from now, you probably will be at a point where you could decide what you're going to do, as far as whether you want to keep working or whether you want to just trade. You'll have that kind of choice, that kind of freedom.
I hope so. I mean, that would be fun. The whole reason I've done it is for the freedom. What I would like to do, I just started making my own films sort of in the last couple of years, but obviously you need time off and you need the money to make them. I'm working in television, great though it is, I'm kind of working on someone else's stuff. And so what I would love to do is have the freedom to make my own choices. Thank you, Scott. But again, I can't thank you enough. Jan said to me, it took him 10 years before he found you. And he basically said I was one lucky bastard because I only started trading a year ago.